Hey guys, this is Cookie, and today I'll talk about missing the timing. So there are a couple of key features. This is a confusing topic, so bear with me. So first one is a card can only miss the timing if it has an optional effect, such as if so and so happens, you can do something. So pretty much if it says if something happens, you have to do or do this or and it's not optional, then you'll always meet timing requirements. A non-optional effect cannot miss timing, because you have to do it. Now, key points when missing timing, if it's optional, is between if and when. These two words have a major difference. So if a card says if, so if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can do this, it will always meet the timing, because if doesn't have to occur straight away. Missing timing means something occurs between something. So if it says if, it is perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be the last thing that occurs. However, if a card says when, such as when this card is sent to the graveyard you can special summon it, it has a chance of missing timing. That will lead later on into and then. So it only misses timing if it's optional, and if it says when. And when misses timing is when it's not the last thing that occurs on a card's text, for example, or if it's a cost. So for example, this brings me to the next thing, and then. And means everything occurs simultaneously, so if a card says, send this card to the graveyard, and then gain 1,000 life points, and the card that you sent to the graveyard says, when this card is sent to the graveyard you can special summon it, it won't miss timing, because the first two things had and it was perfectly fine. Because the gaining 1,000 life points and sending the card to the graveyard occurred at the same time. So all occurs at once, so will not miss the timing. However, if and was changed for then, and the card said, send a card from your hand to the graveyard, then gain 1,000 life points, and the card that you sent to the graveyard was, when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it, then it will miss the timing, because then means steps, sequence. So it goes, send the card to the graveyard, gain 1,000 life points, and then this card, to have its effect, the one when it's sent to the graveyard you can special summon it, has to be there. It has to occur at the same time as sending it to the graveyard, or pretty much this effect can't be there. So pretty much if the event that causes the triggering of another event isn't the last thing on a card's text, then it will miss the timing. Also, chaining is fine. So if you chain a card, that is perfectly fine. It will meet timing requirements. So pretty much, to wrap things up, to miss timing, the card has to have when, be optional, so when this occurs you can do this, and the text that triggers the effect has to say and, or the card has to be the last one on the effect. So yeah. Oh, one last thing. Reactivating a chain is fine only in the chain link 1. So if something occurs to make the chain restart, during, say, you chain 3 of the same card and each one will reactivate one another, you can only reactivate the other ones when you're in chain link 1. That bit was a bit more confusing than everything else, but pretty much when, then, and optional are 3 things you need to look out for when missing timing. If it says those 3, you have a chance of missing timing. Hopefully this helped, and enjoy the rest of your day.